Have you ever heard a story so intense, so dramatic, that it leaves you thinking for days? Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful and debated stories from the book of Genesis, the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. This isn't just about fire and brimstone. It's a deep tale about righteousness, mercy, and the consequences of our choices. So grab a seat and let's journey back to the ancient plains of the Jordan. Our story begins with Abraham, a figure central to faith, sitting at the entrance of his tent during the heat of the day. Suddenly, he sees three men standing nearby. In a beautiful display of ancient hospitality, Abraham rushes to greet them, bows low, and insists they stay. He offers them water to wash their feet, a place to rest in the shade, and a hearty meal. He has no idea he's entertaining angels, messengers from God himself. While they eat, the visitors reveal their divine mission. They tell Abraham that God has heard the outcry against the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, that their sin is very grave, and that they are going down to see if the reality matches the reports. The weight of this news is heavy. Abraham knows these cities are filled with wickedness, but he also knows his own nephew, Lot, lives in Sodom with his family. This is where one of the most incredible conversations in the Bible takes place. Abraham, standing before the Lord, begins to bargain. He's not bargaining for himself, but for the lives of the people in those cities. He approaches God with humility and courage, asking, "Will you sweep away the righteous with the wicked? What if there are 50 righteous people in the city? Will you really sweep it away and not spare the place for the sake of the 50 righteous who are in it?" Think about that for a moment. Abraham is challenging the very idea of collective punishment. He's appealing to God's own nature of justice and mercy, and God in his patience listens. He agrees. If I find 50 righteous people in the city of Sodom, I will spare the whole place for their sake. But Abraham doesn't stop there. He knows 50 might be too high a number. He continues, "Now that I have been so bold as to speak to the Lord, though I am nothing but dust and ashes, what if the number of the righteous is 5 less than 50? Will you destroy the whole city for lack of 5 people?" And God agrees again. This amazing back and forth continues. Abraham negotiates down to 40, then 30, then 20. Each time he prefaces his plea with humility, acknowledging his place before the Almighty. Finally, he makes his last, most daring request. "May the Lord not be angry, but let me speak just once more. What if only 10 are found there?" And God gives his final answer. "For the sake of 10, I will not destroy it." 10 righteous people. That's all it would have taken to save 2 entire cities. With this assurance, the Lord departs, and Abraham returns to his tent, having done all he could. Now the scene shifts. The 2 angels arrive in Sodom as evening falls. They find Abraham's nephew, Lot, sitting at the city gate. Just like his uncle, Lot shows immediate hospitality. He bows down and insists the strangers come to his house, wash their feet, and spend the night safely. He knows the dangers of the city streets after dark. The angels initially decline, saying they'll spend the night in the square, but Lot is so insistent that they finally agree to go to his home. Lot prepares a feast for them, but before they can even lie down to rest, the story takes a dark turn. The men of the city, both young and old from every part of Sodom, surround Lot's house. They bang on the door, their intentions hostile and violent. They demand that Lot bring out his guests so they can abuse them. What follows is a terrifying glimpse into the moral decay of the city. Lot goes outside, shutting the door behind him to protect his guests. In a desperate and deeply troubling attempt to appease the mob, he offers them his own 2 daughters instead. This is a shocking moment, highlighting the complete breakdown of moral order and the extreme measures Lot felt he had to take. But the mob isn't interested. They mock him, calling him a foreigner who wants to play judge, and they surge forward to break down the door. Just as the situation is about to explode into violence, the 2 angels act. They pull Lot back inside the house and shut the door. Then they strike the men outside with blindness. The mob, now confused and sightless, gropes around, unable to find the doorway. The divine power of the visitors has been revealed. Inside, the angels get straight to the point. They tell Lot, "Do you have anyone else here, sons-in-law, sons or daughters, or anyone else in the city who belongs to you? Get them out of here because we are going to destroy this place." The outcry against its people is so great that God has sent them to carry out the judgment. Lot, in a panic, rushes to find his sons-in-law who were pledged to marry his daughters. He warns them, "Hurry and get out of this place because the Lord is about to destroy the city." But they don't believe him. They think he's joking. Imagine Lot's desperation, knowing the impending doom, but his own family won't listen. As dawn breaks, the angels urge Lot to hurry. "Flee for your lives. Don't look back and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains or you will be swept away." But Lot hesitates. He's scared of the mountains. He begs to flee to a small nearby town instead, arguing that it's small enough to be spared. The angel, in a final act of mercy for Lot, agrees. "Very well," he says, "I will grant this request too, but flee there quickly because I cannot do anything until you reach it." So Lot, his wife, and his 2 daughters flee the city. As the sun rises, they reach the small town named Zoar. And then it happens. The Lord rains down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah, from the Lord out of the heavens. He overthrew those cities and the entire plain, destroying all those living in the cities and also the vegetation in the land. It was a complete and total destruction. But there's one final tragic twist. As they were fleeing, the angels had given one clear command. "Don't look back." Lot's wife, for reasons we can only guess, perhaps longing for her home, her friends, or the life she was leaving behind, disobeyed. She looked back, and in that moment, she became a pillar of salt, a stark, silent monument to the consequence of disobedience and a divided heart. The next morning, Abraham gets up and returns to the place where he had stood before the Lord, bargaining for the cities. He looks out toward Sodom and Gomorrah, toward all the land of the plain, and what he sees is devastating. Dense smoke is rising from the land like smoke from a furnace. The judgment was complete. But the story doesn't end on a note of pure destruction. The Bible adds a crucial detail. So when God destroyed the cities of the plain, he remembered Abraham, and he brought Lot out of the catastrophe that overthrew the cities where Lot had lived. Lot's rescue was an answer to Abraham's faith and his plea for his family. The story of Sodom and Gomorrah is intense, and it raises many questions about justice, mercy, and judgment. But at its core, it serves as a powerful reminder. It's a story about the dangers of a society that has lost its moral compass, the courage of one person to stand up for righteousness, and the incredible patience and mercy of God, who was willing to spare entire cities for the sake of just 10 good people. It challenges us to think about the world we live in, the choices we make, and the importance of not looking back when we're called to move forward. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into a timeless story. If this made you think, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that shape our world. We love hearing from you, so leave a comment below with your thoughts on this incredible narrative. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.